Welcome back. Another episode of the Trash Cast. Again, your host Mathias, joined with the boy.
John.
And I kind of like the format we've been doing, so let's just jump into the first piece of news, shall we?
Alrighty, let's do it.
So, video game news. Total Warhammer goes mobile. I didn't see this coming. I didn't think a phone could handle such graphical input with all the crap swarming around. I feel like explode, catch fire kind of thing.
I mean, I played Rome Total War on the phone and it works.
Does it?
But Total War Warhammer is pretty intense, so
I had no idea. I didn't even know Total War was on.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
On the phone. Granted, Warhammer is the only Total War I've ever played, so.
Oh, okay. It's one of the best ones, I think.
So, all in all, this isn't a shocker then.
I think it is because, I mean, Rome Total War was a game from like 2003 or 4, or even earlier maybe.
Probably 3.
Yeah, and Warhammer Total War is a very new game, so that's I mean, it's cool. Like, more Warhammer video games, our quality is always nice. So, yeah.
All right then. I was just shocked. I'm like, I know the newer phones are basically just small computers, but I don't see how you can manage all that. But I guess that's already a thing. So, shows you how much I pay attention to the Total War series. It also dropped a little teaser for the old world, and by teaser I mean they're just wait till next year, guys.
Remind us it still exists.
It's still here. We know we messed up, but it's coming back one day.
No, it's not coming back. It's gonna be Horus Heresy, Old World. So it's only gonna be Empire. I'm calling it now.
It's just gonna be a bunch of humans fighting amongst themselves.
Oh, you bet.
All the other races have gone extinct.
No, they're there. They're just we don't care about them right now.
Yeah, the lizardmen haven't come with their spaceships yet. I gotcha. All right then. Let's look at what's gonna be on pre-order this week.
All right, some good stuff here actually.
The Sunday preview: Warbands and Mortal Realms. So, Descend to Dire Chasm. That's finally coming out.
Yep.
Just in time for the holiday, guys. So we got the stupid looking elves. I'm gonna say that because I hate them. I hate how they look.
I mean, you hate high elves anyway, so
that is actually accurate. I do hate high elves, but these models look incredibly stupid. And then you got the cool models, the Slaaneshi models. These look good. I'm not a big follower of Slaanesh, but I like these models.
Those are cool.
Because it's practical. This makes sense. I look at the elves and I'm like, why? Why does he have bull horns on the top of his hat?
I don't know.
Stupid. Not elfy at all. But that's coming in. So if you want to pick up those nice models in the board game, there you go. That'll be
I'm a fan of Underworlds.
I
recommend this game. Honestly, I think it's a great game. It's a great self-contained game. So, if you want to play a board game with your buddies with miniatures that has pretty good gameplay, this is a great buy.
Well, everyone knows my feelings about these kind of card-based games, but if you don't care about meta and swapping out the cards, it's a good game. I've played a little bit of it.
Yeah.
But I would probably never play this game competitively. Mainly just with limited friends.
Yeah, Sam, I used to play this game a lot competitively, but it's just more fun playing with your buddies with like the pre-built decks. So, but yeah.
All right, and then got some accessories here. So you get some high elf and not very Slaaneshi dice, but I guess chaos dice.
Yeah.
And why would they go red and black? That doesn't even
I
make
don't know.
sense.
I think it says chaos themed and order themed, so not necessarily like elf themed. So
Yeah, but the problem with the high elves is their color scheme is white and blue
yeah,
with gold.
yeah.
They could have just like could have thrown some pink in there, pink purples. I mean, come on, don't be lazy now, GW. All right, we got that. They got the book. Any other points you want to drag in on this before we move on?
No. I mean, again, if you want a cool board game, this is a great. Underworlds is a great experience.
All right then. We got Warcry, all factions getting in the fray. We're gonna touch on more on these stuff in the other stories, but I mean we kind of already touched on AOS being in Warcry.
Yeah.
We think it's kind of broken, but here they are. They're here, and they too are getting their own dice set for some reason.
Yes, that's interesting. They look
Well,
ugly.
they do look ugly. Yeah, they look pretty bad. The color scheme's just weird. But there they are. Something that surprised me, but probably not really. Should. The two new factions are already getting their own box set. I thought they would have waited a little bit longer.
Yeah, that's really fast. I will say, I agree. That's really fast. I mean, that's good if you want to pick up Signs of the Flame or the Shadow Stalkers. That was a good time. So
Yeah, I played a game. This is the Flame in our last podcast. I don't know if I said that or not. I played them. But that was a fun faction. I liked it.
that's good.
I had to fight against Greg's vampires. It's the only good thing that I had more bodies than he did. Otherwise, I would have lost.
There you go.
Next, we'll have to try out the elves. And then we got some the Legions of Nagash and Sylvaneth.
That's cool.
It's a nice little contained box that they're finally releasing. It's good. And then, let's see, this is Tomes of Champions, Skirmish Combat Mortal Worlds. Is this...
So this is a yearly update. It's like a general's handbook for Warcry, essentially.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's like yeah, whatever you said, like an update, yearly update. Got it. All right, and then Black Library, they got books. They got Legion patches, other kind of patches. Pin badges is what they're calling it.
Or pin badges.
And that's it. Not, exciting for Warcry if you want the two new factions and not spend $200 on the box. That's good. And Dire Chasm, if you want to pick it up, get the new models, get the new cards, or just play with friends, you got that option coming up as well. Now, again, I don't know much about this. We're going to go to the next story here, the future of Warhammer Underworlds. And we're just going to look at the first image here.
All right. This is exciting for me.
Yeah.
Because as I said before in the podcast, one of the things I like about Underworlds is releasing new sculpts for different factions without, burdening like the release schedule or the whole release. So unlike last season had some cool factions, but I wasn't particularly excited with what they have. But this season, oh boy, at least 4 factions I'm super excited for.
Here. Yeah, well, I could probably take a guess at that. I'm gonna assume it's gonna be Lizardmen, Bone Reapers, Deepkin, and I don't know. I'm gonna assume a Vampire counts right there, coming up in March.
Oh yeah, it's the vampire. I'm excited about Saves of Darkness, but yeah, like I agree with Matt. That vampire one, we haven't seen that symbol before, as far as I know. So, but I agree. I think that's a vampire faction, which would be really cool. Having a plastic vampire HQ would be great. Right now, it's resin.
That would be nice. I'm just a little surprised. Now, are these just reveals? Or are these the months that these armies are actually going to be coming out?
Oh, those are the months that these armies are coming out.
I'm
I'm also surprised that they're having a roadmap for that this far in advance.
Well, not only am I surprised that they're having a roadmap, I'm surprised that they're doing it every month at the
Uh
start of the new year, no less.
that's true. Yeah.
January, February, March, April, May, June, just like that. Just six new warbands, not including the starter set, coming out every month.
There you go.
But I know I'm interested to see how they're gonna do the Bone Reapers. That'll be
Yeah, that's gonna be cool.
And then we got Deepkin in June. I'd be interested to see what the new vampire models would look like, because I know their models are kind of meh. They haven't really been up. They haven't been updated at all, except for like what the Chariot and the Mortis engine.
Oh yeah, they're very old, so it would be cool to see a plastic vampire on foot for the first time.
And then it looks like we're getting more orcs. I assume it's April.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. It could be a spider fang grot because I don't know, or it could be savage orcs. Who knows?
Yeah, I tried looking up all the symbols, and it's I'll just take
Yeah.
educated guess, because I'm not finding what any of these symbols mean. But then again, I'm not gonna lie. Look that hard. So, I'll never play this except with friends, but I'm excited to see the new sculpts, because it's always fun to see.
It's just cool to have. I mean, you're paying $30 for some dope models.
Yeah.
So.
Plus the cards, plus the. It doesn't come with dice, right? It's just the cards.
Yeah, just the cards.
Well, I look forward to it. Can always use some more expansion for my undead army.
Oh, there we go.
But yeah, so 6 new factions to the game, and then they're just gonna leave this alone, in your opinion, or are they gonna drop like a new season or something like that?
Oh, there's gonna be a new season every year, I think, at this rate.
Well, I know there'll be a new season every
Yeah.
year, but like, are they gonna do like half a year and then like every 6 months?
Yeah, I think it's gonna be June is gonna be the last warband, and then we're gonna see probably 6 months of just having everyone out because it is a tournament game. So having a good time period where all the warbands are out and seeing how that goes gameplay wise would be pretty neat, I would say.
Okay.
Before they commit to a new season.
So then, it's probably expected not to see any more Warcry or Underworlds news till basically next year, right?
I would say so, yeah. Maybe
October.
like a gameplay release or like a new game mode, but like in terms of warbands, yeah, I think that would be it.
Yeah, I think the only thing they need, I forgot, is Arena out yet or not?
Yes.
Okay, I was gonna say I haven't really heard much about it, but probably for good reason. All right then. I believe that's pretty much everything here. I mean, they released another Lizardman sculpt.
Oh, that's super cool. Skink
Priest, yep. That's what it looks like.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And then, we already saw those Slaves of Darkness ones. So,
yeah, those are also awesome.
Look forward to the new sculpts. Moving on. Next story, we got the Unleash Your Warcry. New tomes and quests await. So it's mainly. This article is mainly just about the whole Grand Alliance books that we already talked about, already gave our thoughts on.
Yeah.
But I mainly wanted to just get to the Tome of Champions 2020. So, how do you feel about some of this stuff?
I think it's good having a yearly update for the game is nice. I'm for sure picking it up because my group does play Warcry,
mm-hmm.
and it's a good time to start a new campaign because of the rules updates. I mean, open play. That's kind of cool that there's multiplayer games. So
yeah, that's the thing that that caught my eye was the multiplayer 3 to 6 players.
Yeah,
I thought
that's
this was
pretty
only
cool.
like a 2-player game, was it not?
Yeah, it is. But so having a dedicated game mode for multiple, I mean, before you could kind of play. There was like fan made rules for how to play multiple
Multiplayer.
teams, but I think having an official game mode is nice.
Yeah, I think that's the one that caught my eye. Of course, it's not match play, but having, like my situation 2 weeks ago, where it was only three of us playing Warcry, would have been nice to do a 3-player game instead of having like one player just sit out and watch and, you know, rotate in.
Yeah, so I do like that.
So I look forward to that rule. That looks nice. Um, we're getting 6 new battle plans. Forward to that. That's for match play.
Yeah, I mean, I think match play for this game sucks. This game is not very balanced, and for me, it's just for funsies. And in that sense, it's really good at that. So
Now, when you say balance, unbalance, is that because of the AOS armies, or is that just in general?
I think just in general, there's some missions where like because of well, I guess for match play because there's specific missions, it's more balanced. But I just feel it's more fun when it's narrative. I think a lot of the fun of the game comes from the random. Like I think the if you guys haven't played Warcry, the method for generating missions where you draw from a deck is really fun,
Mm-hmm.
and I think it's part of the core game experience. And just having preset missions isn't as you don't get the full Warcry offering, in my opinion, because part of the fun of Warcry is making those weird mission combinations and terrain maps.
It's definitely my favorite part about the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't
So
wait
I
to
mean,
play
if
more
you play match play,
catacombs.
play match play, that's cool, but not really excited for that. More excited about the narrative and the open play part.
Yeah, I probably won't be doing any narrative play anytime soon, just because still kind of learning the game. But in the future, if it ever comes down to it, I'd be down to play some narrative.
Yeah. I mean, the campaign system for this game is pretty simple, which I really like. So
I like simple too.
yeah, it's not like Necromunda levels of complex. It's actually really straightforward, and isn't dependent. It's kind of like Crusade. It's not dependent on everyone making sure that everyone's on the same playing field because like you play games and you level up, but the bonuses are very flavorful and minor.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like nothing, but it's not too strong that you're stomping new people who haven't been playing games, or not new people haven't been playing games if you've maxed out your warband and
Characters.
stuff. So
Okay. Interesting. We'll have to probably talk a little bit more about that.
yeah,
And then something interesting at the bottom. They mentioned that you'll be able to join forces to take on a mega gargant. So it looks like they're going to be including missions that include giants.
yeah, it's interesting. I mean, there's already missions in the previous Tome of Champions where you could fight against a wild creature.
But are you teaming up, or are you just? Is it
Oh,
whoever kills it first kind of deal?
I think from what I remember, it's still a 1v1, but there's a wild creature, and instead of I think the mechanic is instead of activating one of your dudes, you could choose to activate the creature, but it's a dice roll, I think, and if you fail the dice roll, your opponent gets to activate it. So it's kind of risky. Like you could get control of the big monster, or you could give your opponent a double turn. So it's kind of fun.
Hmm. Interesting. Well, I just found it interesting, just because I know they're including their big boys finally.
Yeah.
So I don't know how that's gonna play out, but should be some mass chaos going on in the game. All right. I think that's pretty much it. Like I said, we talked already. We already gave our thoughts on the whole AOS coming in and how we feel about that. I
Yeah.
only wanted to talk about that because I thought it was interesting that it's finally gonna get multiplayer.
Yeah,
So
I think that's really cool.
big news. All right, and the last bit of news that came out, uh, it's called the most improved units from the Deathguard Codex. So, did you take a look at this?
I did, and it's kind of crazy.
I wasn't too blown away, except for like one unit. But what they showed me, it's kind of stuff we already knew, right?
Not the +1. The +1 attack is actually pretty big for Plague Marines. I mean, we knew they were going to get +1 wound, but having +1 attack, now there's questions, right? Like, are Chaos Marines getting +1 attack? Because that would be crazy.
They are. It said at the bottom that they'll be getting the same kind of treatments.
Well, what's the thing, right? Like, does that mean the extra wound, or does that mean also the attack?
I would assume the extra attack.
Right, that's pretty crazy for Chaos Marines, because then they're essentially Primaris equivalents with +1 attack, +1 wound. And Firstborn are even more lame at the moment.
Well, the Firstborn have a lot to prove.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, but yeah. So just looking at the Plague Marine here, all they got was the +1 attack, +1 wound. They're already toughness 5, so not much changes there other than, but we already knew they were gonna get.
Which is the wound.
A big thing here, Possessed. Possessed got a huge buff.
Oh yeah, they just get 4 attacks flat.
They get 4 attacks flat. No more random. I mean, they were always guaranteed at least 2 attacks. But now they don't have to roll D3. They just get flat 4. So that makes the Possessed Bomb a lot more scarier. Though I still don't think it'll see much play unless they have like a stratagem to teleport them up. Just because you can't give them multiple minuses like you could before.
Oh, in terms of deep protection from range attacks and all that.
Though it would it would also depend on, I forgot the name of the spell, but they have one good spell where, they cast it on the Plague Bomb, and if they're not the closest unit, then they can't be shot.
Well, it's not a spell, it's a stratagem.
Is that a stratagem?
Yeah.
Alright, well, if they still have that stratagem, then Possessed Bombs will look very nasty, being
I would say so.
Being 4 attacks base +1 because of their hatred. Most likely be fighting against the Emperor Space Marine, so they'll get +1 for False Emperor.
Oh no, did you just get +1 attack when they charge?
Oh, is that it?
Yeah, which is even better.
So we have 5 attacks. Possessed Bomb. That's nasty.
Pretty scary.
And not only do they have that, they also have on their horrifying mutations, they also got plague weapons. So now they get to reroll their wounds.
Yeah, reroll of 1s, or if you have an the warlord trait, if that's still there, that's reroll all wounds. Yeah, that'd be pretty good.
Yeah, this will be crazy still. Of course, I don't have much more information other than, this is a huge buff for the Possessed.
Yeah, I would agree.
And then, I don't know why they made such a huge deal for the Defiler.
I guess like they're hurting selling that model, so
I guess they just really need to. I know the Defiler just selling off the shelf, but looking at it through a battle scribe here, it only got +1 weapon skill and +1 attack.
And plus, yeah,
that's all we got.
That's huge. Actually, like Chaos Marine players are losing their minds over that change.
Well, maybe I just have to go with the fact that I haven't seen a Defiler used in since 4th edition.
It's funny because I don't see that much on the table, but it's damn good. I see it on a lot of Deathguard lists online, and this model is all perpetually sold out.
It's always sold out. Every time I go to the website, I never see it for sale.
Like, people keep buying it. I guess it's good.
I know the Defiler had a lot of hype around it at the start of this edition.
Yeah. Also, one thing, the implications of this, which is like, do demon engines get +1 hidden now? Because that's pretty big. having weapon skill, ballistic skill 3 up, and if the Lord Discordant does what it does, then you're looking at hitting on 2s.
Well, it says the Deathguard demon agents have pretty much improved across the board.
Yeah.
So expect the Mythic Blight Haulers, Plague Burst Crawlers.
Yep.
And the Defiler. So
Yep.
if
And
I
again,
didn't,
like this might transfer to the Chaos Marine vehicles, like the Lord Discordant, the Mauler Fiends, Forge Fiends, Helldrakes, Phantom Crawlers, and all that.
well, I don't know how much more you can improve the
I mean, just a
Plague
plus
Burst
one.
Crawlers, but I hope to God.
Hey,
I
plus
don't-
1 to hit for that thing. Oh man.
I hope to God it doesn't get buffed. I hate fighting that thing. My Deathguard friend runs 3 of those things. It takes
Oh yeah.
forever to kill those things because disgusting resilience is such a pain in the ass.
And now they're gonna hit on 3s.
No,
I think.
please God, no. There was some other things. There's 2 new rules that I saw floating around, but there was just no confirmation on what it was.
Yeah, it says they get the Remorseless and Contagions of Nurgle abilities.
Yeah, there
Not
you
sure
go.
what that is. Now, Remorse, I don't know what Remorseless is. I can't even begin to guess.
Yeah, I don't know what Remorseless is. Contagion, people are speculating, would be the disgusting resilience, but that would be kind of stupid. I don't know why you would change it.
They changed the name.
I don't
have
know.
heard rumors that they're changing Disgusting Resilient to just -1 to wound, which I would like. It's less time rolling dice.
-1 to.
Instead
I don't
of
know.
just
I mean, I guess that wouldn't, make the game go by a lot faster.
oh yeah.
But I don't know how I would feel about that. I think the save would be better. I mean,
I
they
think
already
in
got a 5-up
situation-
save.
Right.
They're on
But
par
you're
with
going-
they're on par with Necrons, except Necrons is better.
Yeah, the Necrons one is better for single wound models.
Okay. Well, I mean, I look forward to seeing it. This is going on sale. When does it say? Pre-order soon.
We do know it's coming this month, or next December when the
December.
podcast is out. But yeah, December.
So, and Blood Angels is out this week, correct?
Yes.
The
Got my codex pre-ordered.
the 5th. So I would assume it'd be out on the 12th, maybe. Well,
Yeah.
no, they like to do 2 weeks of order on this thing. So
Usually it's 1 week pre-order, so pre-order next weekend and then out the next.
you thinking it's gonna? No, they would have said it this week. So yeah, it'd probably be on the 12th is when they'll announce it.
Yeah. I think it's gonna be out soon.
It'll be out on the 19th. That's sad. Oh well. Just in time for Christmas.
Oh yeah.
But I'm not looking forward to this. I know my Deathguard friend will be happy.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe. We'll see. We'll have to see those buffs to the vehicles that they're saying is going to be amazing. But other than that, that's pretty much all the news. It was pretty light this week.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's just hobby time. I mean, did you do anything or?
Oh,
is
I do have a
Thanksgiving-
question. With this new codex has come out, there's a trend I noticed. Do you feel that there's too many stratagems for like 8th edition armies?
I think there's too many stratagems in terms of ones being picked more than others, or what?
Oh, they're just like there's so much stratagems for armies, And the reason I ask is that the Blood Angel, the Space Wolf, and the Blood Angel Codex cut their stratagems down by at least half, if not more.
Well, I mean, it's gonna depend on armies wise, but I feel like there's always gonna be the selective few that you pick, and then majority of them are probably only situational.
Right.
So, yes and no. because I rather there be a lot of stratagems
Mm-hmm.
than a little than like I'll throw an arbitrary number out there like 10. I'd rather there be like 20
Right.
than just like 10.
Gotcha.
Just because, one day when I don't want to when I'm not feeling competitive, I'll have just a fun army where I can use all these useless stratagems that I would never ever dare use in a competitive that might come in handy.
Right. I see.
Right? Like the whole close combat Necrons, right? That never crossed my mind. I probably would have written that close combat stratagem off. But here we are. It's close combat Necrons apparently are really
Oh
good.
yeah, they're pretty strong.
Let's
The
see.
Blade ones aren't even out yet.
One day they'll be out.
One day it'll be out. You're right. One day. Blade Guard as well. One day out of the ether. Blade Guard will be out for pre-order.
Oh shit, Blade Guards still aren't out.
Nope. Still waiting.
Jesus. All right. Well then. But yeah, that's my stance on stratagems. I know I barely use any of my stratagems. I'm really bad. I mainly just use my CP rerolls. And when I play my Dark Eldar, my Vect
Your
eats up
Vect
all
one.
my CP that I never get a chance to use many others.
Yeah, I'm the same with when I play my armies. There's usually like 2 or 3 stratagems I always use, and that's kind of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I play my Space Marines, and it's transhuman, and that's kind of all I use. Maybe the CP reroll, and like there's the one where 6 is to hit or auto wound, but I mean that's nice against a demon engine or something. But usually and the take it back. There's one for Space Marines that's you could pick any doctrine for the unit to be in, so it's really good. Like I play White Scars slash Deathwing themed White Scars,
All right.
and being able to get, especially because I play only right now we only play 1,000 points, so the smaller board. So getting into combat early is very common, and being able to have access to the assault doctrine and with the +1 damage on the charge in turn 1 or 2 is huge. So, but still, like going back to what we're talking about, like those are the only like 2 or 3 stratagems I really use, So, yeah, it would, going back to the original question, I agree. I think having more is nice, but at the same time, like reducing rules bloat is also nice, because there's a lot of like I was actually looking at some of the armies that I have from 8th, like Custodes or Chaos Marines, and there's a butt ton of stratagems.
Yeah, it's like what, 3 pages usually,
Oh
3 or 4 pages.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's. I mean, they're just trying to cover their base for all the different play styles, and then the other problem that causes the bloat is you got the chapter specific stratagems.
Right.
So then they got to add one stratagem for each chapter as an example to that list, which doesn't help the bloat.
Right. And if you're playing Space Marines or Chaos and you have your supplements, then each Legion or chapter has like 6 stratagems in addition. So, yeah,
And
it's a lot.
like I said, I don't really use my strategy much,
Uh,
which is probably why I don't win as much. But it's whatever. I pull it off when I need to.
right.
But yeah, did you do anything last week, or did you
Yeah,
just
played a bunch of
stuff your
games,
face?
more 1,000 point games. I finished painting 1,000 points of my Dark Angels, so sweet 10 points is there. I'm starting to build my admech. Waiting for my forge order should arrive this week, so getting some robots and whatnot. And actually been building some Star Wars Legion just because I have a Black Friday sale. I picked a bunch of stuff up, and I was just building them for future proofing. When my gaming group decides to go back to the game again, I have some models built.
Get back on that train.
Oh yeah. In terms of games, yeah, I played a bunch of games like 1,000 points. Still wrecking face with White Scars, Deathwing, Blade Guard are awesome, especially in low point games.
So what is in this 1,000 points that
So
you just reckon with?
I have the Indominus Captain. He's my warlord. He has his warlord trait is he Characters and core units within 6 inches of him are obsec. It's a battalion, and my second HQ, I'm flipping back and forth between a lieutenant and a chaplain. I think I like the lieutenant just because not needing to fail prayers is nice.
That
Although
is
I have a
nice.
variation of the list that has Corsaro Khan for the +1/2 wound, and that I may use the chaplain. Just so he could be a better carrier of the relic, because my warlord has a relic that adds +1 to advance and charge rolls, which is pretty crucial to my list considering I could advance and charge. And accompanying him are the star of the list of 5-man little blade guard. That usually is my anchor. It kills a lot of things.
As they do.
Yep. For my troops, I have an intercessor squad just to hold backfield objectives, and then 2 squads of assault intercessors with thunderhammers. Those guys are usually advanced early on, and they kind of get stuck in early. They usually die, but they could do a bunch of damage with the thunderhammer there. And then I have a unit of eradicators. Just it's a solid unit. Everyone loves eradicators, so they delete what they shoot, and they're tough enough where you need to dedicate shooting at them. And then finally, I have about 165 points left. I usually switch between a Redemptor Dreadnought and Hellblasters. I am liking the Redemptor more just because it's a cool piece that doesn't need to really. I don't need to be careful with, because Hellblasters, while they put up more damage, are way squishier than a Redemptor. So yeah, I've just been bouncing back between those 2 units, seeing what works. But so far, I'm liking the Redemptor for that role. And yeah, that's 1,000 points.
And you're just smashing through all the Imperial Brothers.
Oh yeah,
You
all those
got
training missions.
just 30k but 40k edition.
Oh, you bet.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I didn't get any gaming in this week. My gaming group was celebrating the holidays, so
Oh, for sure.
I just did some painting on another game called Shadows of Brimstone. I've mentioned it before.
Nice.
I just needed something easy to paint, something that wouldn't take me 2 hours, to work on.
Oh, okay.
Because you know how detailed 40k is with their sculpts now.
Oh
ridiculous. Yeah. It's like, I mean, Shadows of Brimstone sculpts are not as good as GW, but they're pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, whatever works, right?
Less detail and just knock out 4 models in an hour. It was great. Had a fun time. But whenever my gaming group wants to get back to that game, I'll have some painted models ready to go.
Some painted models ready.
But that's about it. I know this week we'll probably go back to 40k.
Yeah.
I haven't decided yet if we're gonna do Crusade or if we're just gonna have a good old game. But it all depends on who's gonna show up or not. That's always the problem.
There you go.
What about you? Are you gonna get any gaming this weekend?
Probably, yeah. Hopefully, I'll try to build my Mechanicum as soon as possible so I can start playing with those guys. I already got my troops built. Well, actually, I got some of my troops built. I got some Skitarii built in my HQ. I need more Skitarii and some robots. Actually, no, I have my Thanatar built, and which I have had that for a while. So yeah, hopefully by the weekend I'll be able to play with my Mechanicum, which is the plan.
Oh well, we're gonna need to get a game in today. No?
Yeah.
We've always talked about doing a battle report.
Yeah, that's true. Should do that.
Yeah, we just gotta find out when our schedules aren't so busy.
Yeah, for sure.
No, I mean, it is getting to this holiday season, so it might be lightening up a little bit.
That's true. That's true.
But I think that's a good jumping off point. It's a shorter episode today. We'll have more stuff to talk about next week when we got Blood Angels book coming out, because I know John will be eager to tell me if it's good or bad.
That's true. Yeah, I mean, so far they've kept their chapter or their assault doctrine, so that's a good sign.
Yeah, well, I'm excited to see if they are going to stay the same, because I mean they're powerful right now.
Yeah.
or if they're gonna get even more powerful.
I don't think they're getting worse.
I
Like even
I
if all the
doubt it.
stratagems are crap, like just the fact that they get +1 attack and the assault doctrine, that's already pretty big.
Yeah, I don't expect them to get worse. I wouldn't mind them staying the same, but I just hope they don't get more powerful.
Yeah.
Right then, well, in the description you can find John's Instagram. I'm sure it has more Dark Angels in there, some Star Wars Legion, and you can find me on Twitch, which will also be in the description. And we'll catch you all later.
All right, have a good one, everyone.
See ya.